Hi guys, how are you? I'm Robin. Welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. This little world right here is man for himself. If you like hair product reviews, hair tutorials, grooming, skincare, fragrance, and videos like this, then this channel is for you. Please do press subscribe right now. Okay, I've spoken about should you shave your head, should you grow your hair out. I've spoken about longer hairstyles to try. We've got loads on manforhimself.com. But I thought now was the time to talk about the buzz cut. Now, you'd be excused for thinking that the buzz cut was just one style, you know, just shave it all off. But actually, there are different styles within this. And if you know these styles, you can then work out the best possible style for you, from the super short to the slightly longer and all in between. Now, these styles are on manforhimself.com in the whole hairstyle directory. So if you want a bit more kind of inspiration, then you can check that out. Okay, the first sort of one here is the buzz cut induction. It's called the induction because when guys joined the military and they had their induction, they would shave their head because that was to get rid of any sort of lice or any fleas or whatever else you might have. But this is a really super popular one. This is the easiest too. This is just using your clippers and it's have it bald, so absolutely no guard on that. And David Beckham recently did this. David Beckham is like the messiah of hairstyles. He can pull anything off, but he has just shaved his head again. You can see here, he's kind of kept it under wraps on social media, but this induction buzz cut is best suited for oval or rectangular face shapes. That's because we're really trying to work out those proportions. So less hair on top is gonna help to minimize that length of the face. Also, if you're thinning, if you're receding, so you're getting that M sort of shape up here, then actually just buzzing it all off could be the best option for you. Okay, taking it up a notch and going into the second style, we've got Nick Jonas here sporting the Burr Buzz Cut. Now, this again is one length all over, but this is more like the one grade. Because it is slightly longer, it will take more maintenance, but you can kind of scale it up slightly just in those sort of half measure increments. I mean, Nick Jonas again has a great face. All these guys literally do, but I always think with any sort of haircut, it's about how you personally pull it off. If you are starting to thin and recede, then actually this might not be the best one for you. You'd be better to go with that induction and keep it super short. Leveling up again, and this is the crew buzz cut. This is the one that I often think of as sort of like young guys quite often have this. It's more youthful. Justin Bieber's gone for it. He's had it with natural hair color. He's had it bleached. But this is all about keeping a full fringe. So it's one length all over, generally a clipper grade 2 or a 3. And you're just gonna keep a little bit of length into that fringe. The top and sides are more blended, so actually it is slightly more stylized. So if you're a guy that wants to have something that looks like you made a little bit more of an effort, then this crew buzz cut could be better for you. Also, if you have a larger forehead or a sort of long forehead, then that full fringe can also help to sort of work out those measurements and the proportions. Moving up again into the Butch Buzz Cut. This is more like a clipper grade 3 or a clipper grade 4, but it is that one length all over. Zayn is someone that's done this a lot. Zayn, like David Beckham, is someone that just has like a great face, great style, can pull loads off. But what I personally like about this is, because the hair is slightly longer, you get more of that natural movement and texture. So it looks like the hair just has a little bit more to it rather than having it all cut off. And because it is slightly longer, this is where you can kind of start to use a little bit more hair product again. So using something maybe like a high shine pomade, it's going to give you that high gloss. It's also going to keep the hair really close to the head. Or you could dry in a little bit of sea salt spray to give it more texture, or just take a tiny bit of clay into the hands, warm it up and brush through, and you're really going to start to build that texture in the hair. If you've got a slightly more rounded face, I would say to avoid this because it's really going to emphasize that silhouette of the head. So either have your hair slightly longer or try one of the fade ones that I'm going to move on to here. And this will just sort of help you out. But this is masculine. If you've got a good jaw, you're sort of chiseled, then, I mean, you're blessed, and this will work perfectly for you. This next one, I don't like personally, but I think if you've got that sort of attitude, you've got this sort of punk thing going on, then this could work. This is the Mohawk with the buzz cut. This is slightly more high maintenance because you do have to keep the sides and the back short, but you will have this sort of strip running from the front all the way down to the back of longer hair. And this is just sort of adding that attitude to this style. And if you're a guy that can pull this off like Adam Levine, then go wild, go for it. Into the fade with the buzz cut. This is where you're starting to get a little bit more stylized. It makes it harder to do at home, and it's the kind of thing that I would say get your barber to do if you want it perfect. But generally the fade with the buzz cut, as you can see here in Conor McGregor, is about having it super short on the back and the sides, like a 0 or a 1 at sort of the most, and then just keeping it longer on top. Then you're going to fade from that 0 into a half increment, then into the 1. And if you want to know about fades and how you can do this at home, then I did do a how to cut your hair at home video, which I will link up there. But that's going through those clipper grades and how you can really work up and blend the hair. I like this one just because I do think it gives it slightly more sort of dimension and slightly more texture. You could then even have it just slightly longer with a crew cut, like we saw in Justin Bieber, and then super, super short on the back and the sides. And that's where you're starting to get into slightly more skill and the kind of thing, again, that I would say to get your barber to do. Now, the high and tight is the final one of these 7 that I've got. And this is really stylized. This is more the sort of 80s sort of style, the 90s style. This works perfectly on Afro-Caribbean hair, I would say, because the way that it grows, it's going to grow slightly further up. You can get this sort of better sort of boxy shape that I think works perfectly with this. It's a 0 clipper grade, and then the length is left on top, and it tends to kind of grow up. It also works really well if you've got really sort of tight curls. It's going to give all that bounce and the body on top. If you've got fine to sort of thin hair, then I would say to sort of avoid this, because the way that it's going to sit on top could sort of draw attention to the scalp, and it's just not going to look the best. It's also going to suit you if you've got slightly sort of wider face and you want to lengthen it and give your face height, because the hair is going to pull it up just slightly. And with sort of face shapes and hairstyles, it is all about sort of balancing those proportions if you want to get the perfect. I say perfect. Again, hairstyles are all about how you pull it off and your own personal style. But if you want to sort of get that, it is about balancing the length from the width. But those are 7 to try. As I say, there are more on manfromself.com. We've got long hairstyles, we've got super short hairstyles, we've got hairstyles that require more skill, and then some hairstyles that you might be able to try at home. So you can check those out. But thank you very much for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed this one. Everything will be linked down below in the description. There's also videos up there, as well as clippers. I'll link some down below across all budgets. So if you want to try at home, then you can do. But please do make sure you press subscribe if you've not already done so. It'll be there. There's also more video suggestions there, and a link to the hairstyle directory. Go check it out, click, click, click. Let me know what you think right there. But until my next new video, bye-bye.